Hello guys, my name is Maicon and I am a quality assurance and software developer, and today I will show you how I create a simple test using Appium. Okay, but before I show my code in execution, let me show you some steps that are very important in this case when we are talking about Appium and how you can execute this test. Okay, and I open the CMD here. I will check if my emulator is on. It's on. Oh, my camera is not on, but that's okay. In the end of this video, I open my camera, say bye bye. And now let me continue. And the second step. Let me just open my PowerShell. It's better to see. I will run the Appium. Okay. My idea is not in this video is not show you how we install, how we set up these things, because this video will be long for that. And then I'll decide to cut this part and only explain how I create a test and how we can execute and see an execution in emulator. Okay. Here I have a test. Okay. This test is basically to enter the app and navigation to the task. Okay. Here I have my emulator. It's on. Let me just execute this. One second, this is taking a little time for that. This is my app, I create only for that, and that's it. It's a simple test. Let me just run all of my test here. Okay, I'm select task test is this class, sorry, and let me just run again, and I will open the emulator and see if everything is pass or fail. I mean everything, I mean the tests as well. Now now you can see another test in execution. Okay, one more test. Okay, one more test here. Okay, I think this is the last test that I have here, that I did it. Okay. Now you can see here it's every test it's passed, but now let me just explain something important that I think it's good to show you. And here I have my test. Okay, I will just scroll up and here. And here, for example, it's, I don't know if you work it with Selenium, but in the Appium in Selenium, it's very similar. I mean, define elements and the step to execute it, and how is necessary for example, create an instance for a driver. I mean here, but if you see this code is clean because it's not a polluted code. I mean, for example, here it's load config properties, initialize driver, and so on. This is the first, for example, before now. This idea behind the test, and I'm using JUnity, for example, here. Before every test, you need to do something, okay? And what needs to be done? For example, here, we need to load and initialize the driver and the instance of the task page. This task page is page object POM, page object model. I'll show you after. And here I have my load properties. Okay. Here just for test, but for example here I have this file config properties. Config properties, it's in here. You can find here. Here I have some information is very important. And the server, where is our server? Let me just scroll here just a moment. In the first, no, it's not here. But in the beginning, and when we started, the Appium shown for us, shown, I think, okay, and we can see this IP when I start the Appium. If you come back the video, you can see that. Just double check. But for example, using here, I'm using Android, I'm using emulator, and here this emulator, and this is for install the app in our Android, in our emulator. Here it's where is my AP key, okay? But here this just a moment for explain here. Here I decide to create a app. I have a project for that, and then in that project I create a app, and then I'm using this APK, okay? The idea is one project is where I can create my app and create methods and create frame or create screen, something like that. And here I'm just using the APK, okay? Here is just for test, but now come back here, and here is this not the magic, but here is the how the driver is started. I'm using this here, okay? It's automation to options for set the properties and initialize the driver. In here, and now I start to show you the test that I have here. Here I have different tests. This is one test, another test, more one test, and the last test is this. Let me just show you here a little steps, but the others found the same idea. In this case here, in here, okay, we start the driver it's okay, and the app it's open, and now we need to start to navigate. It's like when for example, when I'm a user and I need to open the app. This step is the same. And here I'm navigate to to the task manager that we saw when we executed the test. And here, remember that I told you about the Selenium WebDriver? Well, here it's very similar, and I'm using the library, the Appium. I will show you after my libraries here. I'm using Kotlin here. Here it's Kotlin, it's not Java, but the idea is very similar. And here that I'm create the element here, okay? For example, bottom menu button, right? Okay, sorry. And here it's okay. The driver will create instances, the driver instances, and wait the element appear in the screen. And here it's my element. Okay, here it just by.xpath, very similar again to Selenium WebDriver, and here here it's where we can find the element. Let me just come back here. Okay, and the second is the same idea. The idea is here just, okay, where you can find elements and how we click it, how we can just make interact with them. And when we created the element, we have the element it's appear in the screen, and then we can just follow and click or do something or wait some element or interact with that element that I map it here. Okay, and here decide to just put the logger to if something is wrong, or sometimes we want to debug, and we need to, how we can just track how we okay, the test was failed, but where it's failed, how we can track, how we can know and tell me about a specific element that is wrong or where is the problem. And here it's good to just track the test if it's fail, sorry. And this is good for a development. This is good when we are creating a test. It's good for document too. We have a good understanding and what is happening here. Okay, now let me just come back here and I navigate to the page task manager. I have the same log here, and then I'm just okay. Let me just see if what I expected I have. Okay, I expected this element and then I have this. Okay, it's true. Here is another element, and okay, this is basically how we can create a simple test. The test is another test, and here the idea is very similar. They navigate to the options and enter to the menu, or click on the button, or type on the text, and so on. Okay, and let me show you my library. Okay, let me just open. I will just scroll down and I'll show you something for you, but this is not recommended. I mean, it's not recommended, but my idea is not just enter and explain everything, but I will just make a little overview. And here I have the Selenium. Okay, now it makes sense why Appium is Selenium. It's very similar. Let me just okay guys, let me just return here a little moment, and I want to explain or show you something here and here. Okay, and for example here, what, Michael, why is this is different from this? Yes, but then will be the same. Look here I have the XPath, but here I have the very similar. It's like, okay, just the ID. Okay, another question. Michael, how you have this? Where are these? This is in my application, okay? And probably I will show you my code and where you can find the repository, but we can find this element in my project, in my APK, okay? Again, this is very similar to just Selenium WebDriver, just mapping and make interact with them. Here ID. Here I use class path, and here I use by ID. And okay, now let me just open my camera. Just a second, guys. Okay, now my camera is on. Guys, I appreciate your time. This was just a little project that I created using Appium, but I appreciate your time and see you next. Bye bye.